I'm more about Emra POG Media. So, first time near Bawumia so bit me. I'm a man who ye down where the tremmy. Bawumia so bit me hit on the notification button. Subscribe to the channel. Nearly leave nice comment under the comment section. And for discussion, you be discussing. I'll say a political stories, a training, a make weeks, a make headlines within the dailies, within the political arena. Near you, money as Sunday so you hit home pa. Ye ma whips in a bagze and na ye de someone a work as a fedi so and ye Dr. Alan Martin a National Economic Summit a so a one crime it mean everything like say a year patrons are hold from all walks of life the building pray from one it me a by Emma omo ebe show my dream. Ewo dwumadi na ase. Na mpemfo ka bibi se kalkum owo ye gele kwakwo num. Extent no. Yentie aftermath of the National Economic Summit in free a year the flag bearer for movement for change Alan Martin ankasa enum the entire teaming organize a National Economic Summit now. Otono boas ya chichi no pensen mu and so Eddie actually in team from one kasano but shena so ma say wait me leave a nice comment under the comment section that actually be so why side amame
ja election bi abeba na koye promises nkwa na there's no plan behind the manifestos to oba na fei na wo be chire mu na de no so kwanza na wo ba be aye plan ebe ma wo promise no aye adwuma no na is what take you almost be 1 year dada na say be you enye you at that point is too late yeah. Yeah. Enti na akwasi konzo gina ekwatia enti Ghanaians want to move beyond party manifestos. They want a national plan. They no ana movement for change yen share Jumasi yakase ye the great transformational plan ebeba plan no ye di kind de aba na ye de ankra no the omo input omo beba no into the plan
okay
na eno akoye the national plan
okay
eno so ka ho enti na ye share I say great transformational plan na movement edeba no we must subject it to public scrutiny. And only the second one. The third one was in the same. Again, Uche Ghana for no do na. Say there's a sense of despondence people. I say nipa.
Among for bemobu.
Na and then na ye per se say nipa no do na etie in some movement eka na yede ama ankrakra bo mu nyina so ede o madwene no abara nye be so achia so emui to give hope not only to Ghana for Nankasa but also to investors say I all madwene so be dia Ghana do dey say mo sika bi 9% dia investment and e men fa baby foforo if it's a normal yet about the economy na so many say there is a leader, a political leader, say Nyamiya dum no be president. Say ni no be ya. Na ama a sense of hope to Ghanaians and to people outside this country.
No, okay.
No man means and so
yes, high events. No, that's nice. And it was open to the general public.
Open to the general public. We advertised it, but yes, I said that. Special invitation.
Okay.
Akroma, interest groups, TUC for first political parties, you know. Omunina, Kumani, Kesi,
Omobade.
Oh yes, Omobai. Omobai, Bobo Mudin.
Omode reps by.
Omo reps by. Omunya reps by. Which was very impressive.
Okay.
Not just say, Omo who say, yes, it is true. Say I'm fighting for political power. Some me a politician. Yes. I'm fighting for power.
Yes.
But I'm also fighting for a cause,
a
very noble cause. Into a man who say, "This man making idea be a bebuagana." enti say me pretu mini bidie nanso so mafrɛ mu nko ade yamra no mu so emeti aso mu adwini bi a omo esoso ade aka ho enti omo bai na TUC say event TUC general secretary na secretary general
no abetna mu bi crossack pedifo omo so bai ansana chamber of commerce just a gutafo pedifo nyina bai na a handful software just people academia omu nyina baby I wanna say obi etimi mobilize domsia just to think about the country. I think I know quite positive. And I mean, Guta president in command, he made the point say Adiaba no take it out and they say TUC for urban. Apparently, no more so prepare or document a crown. Say or monso or my dream no how we was on mine in the Omakuche Bukataso and on the mount.
Yes.
Someone incorporate into the plan.
Yes. Oh. But apart from that, no. Your discussions are near almost so
participate. Okay.
Almost participate.
Essentially, yes, one year the reason behind this whole summit. But Nioma Bena mo discuss or Indian him say the Great Transformation Plan, what can Ghana for ate. Is it say o present a plan nature or more? And I'm more elicit your views on the plan and I said to saying what was discussed.
Say the mechanic. Say offer dom see emadwini bi. Say unya working document.
Editorial.
And no mbegina so e dey discussion. Won't be free nipa. Aka say obi an Canadian. There be. Nti working document na ye de man almost say omo nyina so. Na omo form adwene bra eno ne
the GTP
national plan.
Now
who kind great transformational plan now? There were 5 clusters. They did kind the economic cluster. Now say economy no no, and then 1 cluster. The second one is governance. So I say if you deal with the economy, now you don't deal with governance issues. And no, square one. And yes, I war infrastructure cluster. And I don't see a war natural resource management and environment cluster. And your social services cluster. I know health education and also so. And your war attitudinal and behavioral change of Ghanaians and also cluster. Tisawosha GTP no and not just economy no all these areas but summit here not just to discuss the economic cluster. The
National Economic Summit.
And a governance summit so. Now I know all issues related to corruption, decentralization,
constitutional amendments,
yes, constitutional reforms will be discussed at that summit.
And you do same for all the other clusters.
All the other clusters. The first one is the economy. The second one will be governance because they reinforce hand in hand. Each other. Now under the economic cluster, now you will different subject areas we are near discussing. But we macroeconomy. Now macroeconomy under that you discuss how to bring inflation down. How to bring interest rates down. How to stabilize our currency. How to reduce our debt to sustainable limits. How to optimize revenue. And then how to control expenditure. So to Saosha, not just say in just one cluster. So many on the macroeconomy. And yes, I'm discussing industrial transformation.
Under the economic cluster.
Under the economic cluster. And yes, I discuss agricultural revolution. And yes, I discuss tourism. It is not an economic cluster. No, I want a popon and 9. A macroeconomy. No, I know inflation, interest rates, and you want industrial transformation. And you want agricultural transformation. And you want tourism. And today I say, "Sa normal 9, and I'm not." the subject for discussion. Well, summit.
Oh, okay.
See, I would say,
okay.
You're very deep now. We have provided 152 policy solutions.
And the economy in
152 policy solutions. And your problems in Coca or Ghana. Just say, Tambia Beche Ghana phobia. Say, yeah, on radio, say, yeah,
we only state problems.
We only state the problems. Now, from the beginning, say, problems here. We are now looking for solutions. And this summit was about solutions. We have proposed 152 policy solutions. Our prescriptions.
Prescriptions.
So we are a rule.
Sure.
Doctor better prescription. And the prescriptions are a bit me my no. It me I say mo no. And no. And
yes. I'll come for us to look at one or two of our prescriptions. Yes. No, and before that, make sure we opening remarks.
I'm more about Emra POG Media. So first time near Bawumia so bit me. I'm a who ye pa down where the tremmy. Bawumia so bit me hit on the notification button. Subscribe to the channel. Nearly leave a nice comment under the comment section. In fact, discussion ye be discussing. Shouldn't swim pa. I'll say a political stories are training, making weeks, making headlines within the dailies, within the political arena. Near you, money as Sunday so you hit home pa, you might whips in a bagsy, and not yet if someone a worker say for deep so. And you hear Dr. Alan Tremartin. A national economic summit, a so on crime. It means everything like say a patrons are hold from all walks of life. The building pray from one name, it me a by Emma among ever show my ring. A would you muddy enough say. And pay for BBC Kelkum, oh, we a general quanum, exentino. Yenti aftermath of the national economic summit. In free a year, the flag bearer for movement for change, Alan Tremartin, Ankasa Enum, the entire team organize a year national economic summit now. Or turn about your team no pensing moon, and so Eddie actually in team from Ankasa novel. But Shanasumami said, wait me a little nice comment under the comment section. That actually be brief why side the amami.
You made the point at the end of the day, Ghanaians would want to know from this summit the following: one, how the country would be reset on a new path to prosperity from the economic ditch we find ourselves in now. Two, what specifically will be done to generate much more wealth in our country, and how this wealth will be distributed among all of us so that it is truly inclusive. Three, when, how, and who will be punished for the collective act of misappropriation and misdeeds in successive administrations. These are three very, very critical points. Into show policy prescriptions. Like number one, this is a major issue as only traders aiding common inflation rate, the cost of borrowing from and the issue of taxes.
Yes.
More prescriptions for Nyama and saying day.
Taxes.
Very well.
In Ghana, your tax regime, the country from America say we have turned it
upside down. Okay.
Now it's your butu. Now the entire America say so. Woko amamaya oma komene oma tumpoa. Who show more tax regime now? The friend direct tax no. And no, ana omujina so you collect more taxes as against indirect tax. Ghana the opposite. Ghana we concentrate on indirect tax. Duties and levies are especially at the ports. Who import to normal charge one. And if you say no, easier to collect. Meanwhile, no, say what you yes, it is true. It's easier to collect, but the nipa your man do on private sector. Almost so more important normal. Now what loading with so many taxes nature say ultimately competing. Yes, only choice or due to the show would you or not so be passing to the consumer.
Sure.
And to not just acquire to say the Jumana Casano and Coso if it's on your competitive, the prices be go high. The prices go higher on to be competing even on the local market and want to be competing on the export market. And to own your profit, or tax agency, GRA, want to be taxing. And now you say, oh, but you are crowd, say, so, well, you evade the taxes because taxes, no, a dorsal do. And in a sense, indirect taxes, a private sector competitiveness and our business is almost being and find your secondly, so and I'm saying taxes indirect as a high, a human cost, you want to employ Nipa. So, want to employ Nipa to do no. Now it's a government revenue being from direct taxes from employment or more and also whichever way you look at it, it doesn't really and sustainable. And the first thing we have to do, which is what we are proposing, is say yes, sir, we have to recalibrate our tax system structure. And we've been dealing with this for so many years. I can tell you, say yes, sir. There's no way you bet me a competing even
in turning it around. The focus now will come onto direct tax rather than indirect. Now direct, say now you say you reduce taxes and duties. So I say to allow people to compete. And become efficient and compete. No moment, woman, she carry now tax and and then so when you be to be a buyer and your problem. I first so bet na fanipa. Or funny part do no if I do also pay so obet your income tax. Na only aduma. Obi ni aduma. So on your income tax. And I'm and I also say would one ya you but usa one kasana you are reducing your capacity to earn. But the challenge with that, Honorable, would be said. In the private sector, you have the formal private sector and the informal private sector. Unfortunately for you, or more the informal than the doors. And the only way you can get them because it's not formal, indirect. How do you balance? So it can come back also. So the first one is to turn the regime upside down. Then secondly is to try and formalize the informal sector. So because at the end of the say said your work informal sector no so there. Want to be and track or but say or formalize it or more. Not say the baby no we are informal. So the same taxes say high into no we are informal. So what you say? That taxes now duties now oh yeah no. So also be or yeah market to a beer. Say onim say onya ko register no as a proper company. Yes. GRA for eba attack. Enti no she one way na dia. And then say them who say taxes and duties say kwan wo mu adwuma obey no and wo be koso na obedua. On mine say obey register the company properly. If you say onu himself or register the company properly. Obenya benefits be or co banker our register na adwuma nti obetuma bosia obetuma fanipa nti enya nipa no pe some person we informal but taxes in say normal levies no anama de be nipa pi operate on the ground nti say if they making yes semua you will see the impact on the informal sector obia be register and no na e be broaden the tax base because that's the second thing. Who reorganize it with tax regime now. The second thing is then to help the informal sector to transition. So, for informal sector, we announce we have registration. You're sole proprietor. Sure. We have a sole proprietor. We not for and not for Webra, not for Webra. And we also have a department do now so episode more and formalize it. It is a prescription for formalizing the informal sector, and it's when you recalibrate your tax structure now.
and we incentivize people to go and register their companies.
Yes, absolutely.
Or my former.
Yes.
But how about those who would argue, say, the only way to capture majority of the informal sector is to use digitization, an easy way, use technology to get them on board. And also,
I don't know. Acquired to say a part of helping them when they have become formalized.
Okay.
To become
to make it easy for them to
yes, not the other way around. Now the work digitization and I just say the pan former say identity and or person or undercover business. I didn't know person register in the business.
Yes,
because or share a year and I say taxes on Kwa will be piano. And by the way, by wayside and can or prefer. And it's not a question of just so we are digitization. No, we are formalized. Normal obeya a bit incentivize or to become formal. That's the first thing. We are digitization more efficient. And number 3 so acquired to say. Your taxes in our casano so a dorsal dodo.
Okay.
So because apart from normal market,
the taxes generally.
That's a dorsal dodo. Now, acquired to say identity and a government, a taxes are because revenue normal pay. But if we can reduce revenue leakages, so what I say, if we can reduce revenue and deal with corruption, and the amount of revenue now Ibenyano and Kauba say be free other places and not necessarily
taxes.
Taxes. So and to acquire to say it's a lazy way. It's a lazy way
of raising government revenue just by slapping taxes on the people.
To say electricity tax.
Yes.
Sebi. Because the problem has nothing to do with taxes. Rather, no, you can the fundamental problems
economy,
electricity first, even electricity sector and energy sector. Now, how to improve it in terms of efficiency.
Yes,
from generation to distribution. For generation to transmission to distribution.
Sure.
And Sana, I just say what to me I can say you are increasing tariffs because the problem no from 3 areas here making. Now once of no na say open say we increase electricity tariffs there. Now I just say Usama especially more business and I uncompetitive because who person solve a problem, but it's the wrong way. I would just solve a problem. And to us, I now be say, Ghana already know tax electricity tariffs here already very high. Because for businesses.
Yeah, for businesses.
So how are they able to compete even within or after African single market?
Sure.
African continental free trade area. And say we will be pricing ourselves out of
benefits and there was from single market.
Because so we won't even competing. We call other inflation single digit.
Yes.
If you interest rates so much lower. Electricity cost higher. So will be higher than your competitors. So how can you compete with them? No one compete with them. How can you then survive? How can you create jobs? Into a vicious cycle. Into a tax a unit and difficult.
I love the bit about say taxes are a dorsum, and I want to believe say based on
and levies.
Any levies. Sure.
Now I am say okay. Say your duties. Your duties. You know I say levies.
Yes.
Into a share say duty no koyena. For because someone.
No, I know a levy.
The value is the same.
but the interesting point is for more as a movement and under this GTP, have you identified the number of tax handles? I'll say okay, way there because I recall say when the NPP was campaigning in 2016, they itemized by 17 tax handles. Be almost way there a nuisance or mobile Have you done something similar? Yes, you have taxes ne dorsum. A mood here in my imagine say way there. it will go. Way will go.
Say E-levy say from the beginning.
Okay.
You can say, just maybe at that time you see they solve a problem. But in the first place, they don't to have even appeared. It's a bomb with the major. Say even VAT increase here.
Yes.
Make a VAT increase from 12.5%. So if we had fixed the challenges of what economy making revenue leakages in it, money now. Necessary because increase inflation.
Okay.
So can I say we increase tax and now we impose levies.
Sure.
A cost of production, a cost. So cost of production cost now prices no cost. So prices will cost say ne micro 100 cedis now say it me talk 1 bottled water. Now say we increase a bottled water no
cost of production.
Cost of production now a move from 1 cedi to 5 cedis. Now say we 100 cedis now we talk way with we talk yeah. As a 1 cedi we talk 100. Now you say it's over to only 20.
Sure.
And now say you are depreciating the quality of life. Oh, now say your child room out cries say obi wa yet be child room no. I just say wonim say aduro no hia no say abetimi ama no ho aton. But sika no oni sika or de beto. Enti no kra na so no reduce prescription e de ama no. Na ono a reduce prescription.
Okay.
So want to mentor because of inflation. Inflation is also because of high taxes. And stable currency and stable. And all those indicators they reinforce each other. So when to me I'm fixing our economy now.
It was cascading effect on BBR.
Cascading effect. And one thing I make us say the value of having Alan become president, say, I will bring the economy back to life.
Alan Trematin.
Yes, I will bring the economy back to life. If it's a main train, can say, my bear president, and Sana make sure they meet my children, Osha me GTP on inflation. My child, how inflation will come down to single digit inflation. My child, how interest rates will fall below 10%.
Interest rate?
Yes,
below 10%.
But child, how debt will deal with our debt, you know, say the you will have sustainable debt. I hear say about Bobusia. My child, how expenditure control, government expenditure, how will be. The prescriptions are there. And when they say, no, we are making me submit me a set of normal media several different groups. I'm almost interrogate you or my pencil say, wait there, now say before November, no, because not December, go to election cry. Now say me cry all the I had to say content that make me that prepare budget. And to me before the general election. Now I just say, my prepare the budget say when the opportunity comes to pay. Now I just say already know. This is what you are.
This is what you're going to do.
Winning say exports, winning projection. Wait my year. Winning BBR say make interest rate down. Oh, now politicians will be or say we misro me ko kan obi be wi me
idea.
Mapo na I don't know. Me fan sir.
Okay.
Okay. The problem with manifestos is that you don't know the level, the detail of the and what medium.
Just bullet point. But the other thing, one thing I heard on the fact, say what the inflation about single digit.
Yes.
The interest rate about under 10%. For trade there be and a business person be a would the person will be curious. In inflation, say 2025, what be your president? What do you do about inflation to bring it to single digit?
So first thing, see, I can say inflation. The rate at which prices rise.
Yes.
Now, the way I calculating inflation, you will be a friend of basket of goods. And no, and you use versus offer container.
Sure.
Yes, normal say, if you are body, mancani. Bottled water, before normally na ya kanyina no prices no ana ye carry say
yes
inflation at this level so one of them no enti say o pese o reduce inflation na say normal what basket you know and no prices na say kofo na normal basket me dey calculate inflation no the biggest one any food inflation
aduane ayedi
and when you say oh reduce the food inflation in Ghana, inflation will come down to single digit automatically. Now, how do you do that? If you say, then you take agriculture for example, you have to increase agricultural production and productivity. And say, me find say bianca your dog na say a bro
sure
say be 100 cedis per bag. So increase agricultural production and productivity. I feel ube who say from 1 acre now ube don. A beer ubenya instead of a beer 10 1 ton and now 1 acre ubenya 10 bags. I feel because of increased production and productivity ubenya 20 bags. Ubenya 20 bags and now is the cost per unit
ever conform.
Until the first thing is to increase agricultural production and productivity. And one thing I say no, say Ghana, you per se aduane boba farmer. We cannot only rely on small scale farming. Small scale farming, the way they are, but moving into medium and large scale farming. And I know number one,
I know the states then are ladies are winning.
The state in the Bema incentives for commercial farming. State in the Bema incentives. There's nowhere in the world that agriculture a year highly productive. Food you call Brazil, you the fans say more agriculture majority of a large scale commercial farming. And no interest small scale anymore. Where small scale or on Krano? Small scale you can boom. A contiguous farming.
Sure.
You can boom. Said as if say a commercial farm. And not just 1 acre, obi to 1 acre, obi to 1 acre. You become more boom. Now more than 100 acres, 100 people. Now actually say you treat them like one company. Into more busia. Now and yes, 1 acre away now they be busia. And yes, 100 acres more ya come up will be a mamu
Bosia
you know, not just Odia. See, that's the first one. Increasing agricultural production and productivity. Number 2, transport costs, any logistics, any distribution costs. Some fans are quite and answer will call a table. Now, we talk a brewer. A beer brew, no, but be a 1 bag, be a 10 cedis.
Yes.
Such as if you say no, the real farm gate price. By the time you do commercial, maybe 100 cedis, no. I feel I grew 200 cedis. I didn't. Logistics and transporting the cost, the products, from Durango to Anongwa, and no increase, by every transport cost.
Yes.
And I just said solution, and they said we have to reduce transport costs. Now, very used to transport costs that, and also I had to say the cost. Infrastructure, roads leading to any other things
fuel prices.
I dare not about form not a reduce transport logistics cost. But you will be sure your friend profiteering Sebi Obi no diga or Tijum. No man ye kofaba e wo mu say ye the transport cost no aka ho ne ade nti cost no aso mu say normal cost no. No answer to the Piato, a profiteering. If it's only said, we won't even quite crash on Kotum.
Yes.
And you are not so found one, no, so the
but no, it's difficult to deal with it. And I'm more solution.
Yeah, solution.
Okay.
And no one's a first, solution and Kruman they buy any state food distribution.
Okay.
Now, it's a buying one Casano,
a
Tosano mano, not what they are back. Not I just acquire what you guarantee say, so profiteering anyway. And I face so transport costs near the no betimi manage, but no and yes sustainable and until you go yen. Until the same principle no, but private sector. Until you say no, yeah, the proposal no, Uber licensing.
Asadam Kwan, so Děstr0y from time I started up to this time I told so UT in Sempa or POG Media, political news, political channel, Bagope, Ghana House. No doubt. Bomadian so betima subscribe, share, comment, maybe be into be infant to my part, so near the infra, a sanity, or comment also hear me pa, comment, now fee, show no so into me and your crab, a sanity pepe. Inti, send ye a long cash, a canon, a year, NPP media would be ye, a home overview of it, and about pay it's me at the yet national economic summit time. I pay it me at the Ghana for. Then you have some go to Akroma. We pictures and a videos a trending on the social media portals. Na ne example papa no Ghana for the yes, we are hoping say the political ambition also bit me ide abom amano ya hwe ne obit me aye dia boa Ghana but I see brave so we Děstr0y now with me any time ya up to this time much appreciated. Thank you very much for your time. Share me the for na exclusive no and so on channel so but I see brave.